ṣe kánjú jolúwa.
Má 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 ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Má
ṣe kánjú jolúwa.
Fantastic! You guys must read it in this school. Love that. All right, so the clap is like this. Má ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Má ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Má ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Má ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Fantastic. All right, so now I will use that drum. Yeah, I know many of us know what that is called, a djembe. So I'll use it and then we sing at the same time, we clap and dance. Can you do the three together? Listen to me. So I know some of you are thinking that, I'm not really great to dance. Well, guess what? Because I can see you all clearly, if I see that you are not dancing, what I'm going to do is I will call you out by yourself to come and stand. And then you show us all how to do it. I know you might still be thinking that, no, not really, you won't do that. Guess what? I'm an ambassador, I can do whatever I like to do. So I will call you out. All right, are you ready? So remember, you sing at the same time, you clap and you dance, okay? So let's still test the rhythm. So just right now, clap. Whatever you hear, you clap, okay? Clap, clap. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so now sing. At the same time, clap and dance, all right? Ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa, ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa, ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Wait. This is the strangest sight I've ever seen. In this country, when they teach you to dance, is this how they teach you? You sit down when you are dancing? So why on earth are you still sitting? From looking at you guys trying to dance, I can see you've never danced in your whole life before. Which is simple. So what you do is, you see back home, when people don't know how to dance, you kind of feel sorry for them because it's like being sick. And when someone is sick, what you do is you take them to the hospital and they can get well. So I'm going to heal you of that disease now. That's what you do. You've never danced before in your life. Just stamp your feet on the ground like that. Stamp your feet. See? Better? And then clap. Ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa. Ma ṣe kánjú jolúwa. All right, faster. Give yourself a warm up. I know usually Americans don't know how to dance, but you guys actually disprove that. There's a lot of help that comes to Africa from you in the United States. which I really appreciate as an ambassador representing the continent. Sometimes we send food, sometimes we send money to places like Somalia, like Uganda, and all. But sometimes to make those children, those hungry, big-eyed children, very happy. All you have to do is send them a video of a bunch of Americans trying to dance. And the sadness leaves them forever. So why am I telling you this? We are becoming friends now. So if you have to dance, especially with the way some of you just try to dance, don't waste it. Get it on video. And send it to someone that will be very happy looking at you trying to dance. Well, the next picture is, I want you to look at this very well and tell me what you see. So many things going on. It's a busy picture, I know. But some of you might be able to see the mystery. Do you see the sun in this picture? You see two suns? Yeah, the smaller one and the bigger one. Do you see the giant foot? Yes. Very good. And the hand on top of it. If you look at the sun and the hand and the foot, it looks like someone praying. But then, do you notice the two faces on both sides of the picture? Yeah. The palm tree, that's the cars of the palm tree. You see the blue wave for the eyebrow, the eye, the nose, and then the lips. You see that? Yeah. And then the similar face on the other side. The more you look at this painting, the more you get to see. That's why even Jesus taught us a lot in proverbs and parables. The more time you spend with one of those parables, the more you are able to understand what he's trying to teach. We have a lot of proverbs and parables back home. Best way to teach you, because whatever we figure out ourselves stays with us for a really long time. And so a lot of times artists tend to tell stories that way as well. Ajaga translates to mean yoke, and it's just come unto me, all will live and heavy laden. I will give you rest, put my yoke upon you, and learn from me. So that's what it's like. The red band you see there is the blood, that we are all connected to each other through the blood of Christ. This is the one that won the award. It chronicles the life of a woman from infancy to old age and how her life is changed over time. So if you ever come to the United Nations, you'll get to see this. When we are children, we think and reason as children. When we become adults, childish things pass away from us. That's what Paul says in the book of Corinthians. And it's what I use to tell the story, that there are values that are everlasting, but then there are values that are very temporary. Some things that we like as children, we no longer like when we become adults. Love is making that remains constant. That's why I put them all on the red ground in this picture. So many other things to say about this particular one, but I'm just trying to be conscious of the time, and I want to be able to touch everything before we finish the assembly. But there are so many other pictures. I think before Visions of Ezekiel is another one where I talk about hope. The Visions of Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel is filled with stories about God telling Ezekiel to go minister this particular one to the valley of dead bones, and they rose again. So what hope is better? What illustration can be better than that? Death is brought back alive. So that whatever situation, when we talk about indigenous cultures and indigenous people, languages that are being lost, that there is hope in the future. These things can be revived. Really trust in God. And that's so, the United Nations, it really does help me, because through my work, I get to be able to show a little bit about my life, or shine my light, show things about my faith. And so, even Muslim, Buddhist leaders, what kind of religion, they will ask me questions about these things that I abstracted from the Bible. So as long as you live your life, you shine your light wherever you go to, you'll see how God will crown it with a lot of success. The last two pictures, this first one, myself as an individual. It is a self-portrait. Does it look like me? Mm-hmm. that's not what I look like, right? It looks like me more in character. Tell me honestly, if you have a friend that looks like this, wouldn't you tell them to go get plastic surgery? It doesn't look like it physically, it's more in character. An artist is a person with a hole in his or her heart that is equal in size to the entire universe without him or her. An artist is a person with a hole in their heart that is equal to the world outside of them. Every time I paint a picture, all I'm trying to do is to fill this hole in my heart. Some people do this by becoming engineers. Some people do this by becoming tailors. Some people do this by becoming farmers. Some people do this by becoming physicians. Some people do this by becoming teachers, soldiers, just any profession. For some people, the only way they can feel the emptiness in their heart is if they become the president or king or queen of a nation. Some people just smile at them. We all have these various ways by which we feel that emptiness. I do this by being an artist. That's why the left eye in the picture is shown to be dark, to show that hole. The right eye is turned upside down to show a different view of the world. The light in terms of which I paint. Notice the painting brush. This is a painting brush. I listen to the world with the aid of the painting brush. The reason it was so important for me to come to share the story with you is because when I was in high school, as all of you have, I used to have a really great weakness. My greatest weakness in those days was to be able to do this very thing I'm doing this morning, to talk in front of a group of people, or to talk in front of my class. I used to be a very class-centered kid, so whenever I was giving a story to read to my classmates, I would fidget a lot. I just couldn't even do it. What happened was my teachers would say, if I cannot talk about something, I should just draw or paint a picture about it. So that's why I have so many paintings today. Instead of talk, I will paint a picture. It used to be that I did it out of necessity. Little did I know that one day I was going to win the first place in the entire world, representing my country, doing that thing I was just given at that advice. I was just given to me very simple. So sometimes when we are weak, then we are strong. In our weaknesses, we realize our strength. Paul says again in the book of Corinthians that he said our same thing, that when we are weak, then we are strong. Our greatest weaknesses always become our greatest strength. And if you remember, when he asked God about certain weaknesses he had, what God answered him, God just didn't say he will solve that problem. He said that my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in your weaknesses. How many of you remember that verse? My power is made perfect in your weaknesses. Which means God's power cannot be made perfect in us except we confess our weaknesses to Him. As it happens between God and man, sometimes as we are all in school, I think that's why we're so fortunate to be in school like this. As many people would like to be in your position, but they don't just have a chance to. You see, our teachers know this very well. The only way you can help a student is usually if that student will confess to you what they are finding difficult to understand. Although, most of the times, as students, we try to hide these things even from our teachers because we try to feel strong by ourselves, not realizing that it's really our weaknesses that our teachers can work with to perfect their working laws. So, always confess your weakness. I know that I wouldn't be in this position I am now if not for those teachers in those days. The last picture is called True Miracles. And True Miracles is inspired by the life of an oyster. The most extraordinary thing about an oyster is this, that irritations get into its shell. The oyster doesn't like the irritations, but when it sees that it cannot dispose of the irritation, it chooses it to do the noblest thing an oyster ever has a chance to make. It makes a pearl. That if there are irritations in our lives, there's only one prescription to make a pearl. It may have to be a pearl of patience with a lot of love poured into it, but in any case make a pearl. And it takes a lot of hope, faith, love to do this. Sometimes, to know anything about the Almighty God, all we have to do is to look at the oyster Because when we do bad things, maybe God can destroy us all. But if he doesn't do that and forgives, all he's doing is making pearls out of us. For the oyster, irritations become in the form of dirt particles, which he doesn't like. But he doesn't waste his entire life trying to discard of these dirt particles. He just keeps pouring enzymes, which are very precious to you in your biology classes. You learned about enzymes being precious to the animals that secrete them. It's like love to us. Imagine what this crystal does. It pours love on the very things that are hurting it. It pours all these enzymes that are precious to it on those very irritations that it doesn't like. And the beautiful thing is, at the end of the day, when we look at the pearl, it's so precious and so beautiful that little do we know it comes from irritations which the oyster doesn't like in the first place. In other words, the pearl, by its nature, it betrays the origin that makes it. It betrays the beauty of the pearl, betrays the ugliness that it is coming from. As the oyster has irritations, you know, people can have irritations as well. Except, I know in this school, you guys have perfect lives, so maybe you don't do anything that irritates you. But you know what I mean? Sometimes things can irritate people. Sometimes people can irritate each other, right? Sometimes, maybe, I know in one of the elementary schools I went to, it said brothers and sisters irritate them. So sometimes brothers and sisters can irritate each other. They also know that no matter how much your brother or sister irritates you, you can't get rid of them. These are people you are stuck with for your whole life. So the earlier you love them, the better for you. Friends can irritate each other. Maybe sometimes, it never happens in this school, but sometimes students can irritate teachers, right? Do you think teachers can ever irritate students? The question is, what do you do when somebody irritates you? You may either decide to irritate them back, or you can be like the oyster, like that shell. You know, forgive. I just want you to know that when you forgive people who irritate you, you are making pearls out of them. Very soon, you guys are going to become leaders, not only of your communities, but of this country, of the world we live in. I want you to know that the greatest quality of a good leader is not just when you have the financial resources or the military powers to do the things that you want to do. Sometimes your greatest quality may just be having the ability to forgive somebody else. Because when you do it as a leader, it saves a lot of lives. Case in point, look at the country of Rwanda, where if just two people, the leaders of the country at the time, were able to forgive each other in 1994, all those 800,000 people might still be alive today. They pride, prejudice, all those kind of things got into it, and they killed each other. Therefore, we have that genocide. So people will always tell you that forgiveness is weakness, but no, it is the strongest thing anyone can ever have. We always try to advocate it now at the United Nations because there are times that talks just break down. And the only solution you have is teach people to open their heart to forgive. Lastly, I'm going to show you what an original piece of my artwork looks like. Do you want to see? Well, thank you so much. In order to show you, I'll need 5 people to help me hold it up. Who can volunteer to help me? Thank you. Thank you so much. A few more? All right, can you all see this painting? I see, sorry. Can you raise it up? Thank you so much. And I know you can't see anything. But you see, she volunteered to hold them. If you look at this painting very well, what do you see? The colors, right, are a lot brighter than you have in the projection. That's why sometimes the artists say that they prefer you to see the original colors than the reproduction. You see the sky in this picture? How many of you have ever seen the sky like that before? Anyone? Well, let me just tell you, because I'm getting to love you guys a lot now, so I should give you good advice. If you see the sky like this, if any one of you truly see the sky like this, you should go to the doctor. Because it doesn't happen in real life. Imagination alone can produce this for you. But it's the surest way to see. What you don't see in real life, you can do with art. So you imagine things. You see a problem with the world, you imagine the solution, and you impact that world with it. What inspired the sky is the idea of a quilt. That's why towards this side, you notice the needle sewing together different pieces of fabric, just as we have diversity in our world. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because the quilt is just the quilt. It's this colorful thing that shines light on everyone. And so that's the idea here, that whether it's good or bad, just tell your story. It will brighten up somebody else's life. Notice the butterfly. I saw that the monarch back here in the United States, I put it in my picture. So as I travel, I see things I put in my picture. And so many other things about this. I just wanted to show you, but during the workshop, maybe later on in the day, feel free to stop me and ask more questions because I want you to be able to get to, there's always so much more to discuss than time permits us. But there's even another painting that I wanted to show you that we'll see maybe later on because I'm not supposed to show you until after the workshop. All right, can you give these 5 people a warm hand?